But their ears would also shatter. Freaking me want to go.
We know that the flame burst. No! I didn't know that would kill everything. No!
And boys, my 3DS just died. Cool. I had Persona 5. We're talking about how one of the alt skins for Joker.
Yo, I got it! Let's go! Hey!
This is the best. Yeah, come back up. Come back up. No, I swear to God, I won't do it again. I swear. I won't. I promise. I won't. Okay, never mind.
Warning shots. I mean, if they were trying to hit.
You need to beat this bear.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the OPSEAT video podcast. I'm your host, Droopy Jors, social media manager for OPSEAT. We created this podcast to introduce you to successful gamers who have used various strategies to build personal brands, make profit in video games. Everything you see is going to be broken down into a full audio for podcast and edited up for a cool montage like premieres that will be streamed weekly on Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please make sure to like and subscribe wherever you enjoy your live streams or podcasts. Today, we are joined by Twitch partner and streamer HelloBiff. Thank you for joining us today.
What's up, buddy?
Things are going well over here. How are things going for you today?
Dude, it's finally warming up in the Midwest. Like, it's been cold and it gets depressing as shit when it's almost June and it's 20 degrees and you're like, what the hell is going on with the weather?
Yeah, I used to live up in Chicago. I get that.
I know, dude. No, but we just left Chicago and it was warm out. It was so much warmer in Chicago than it was in West Michigan. I'm like, oh my God, bring it with us, please.
And it's crazy how that works. And I mean, like, 2019 is about halfway done. So like, how's the year been going for you?
Dude, I mean, 2019 started out real scary. So, I lost my job day after Christmas. So my wife and I, my wife, Mel Vicious, she has always been a really big supporter of my content creation on Twitch. And so we were kind of talking about me going full time because I got partnered on Twitch October of 2018. So we were kind of talking about it. You know, things were, you know, you have to be financially stable for something like this. Number one,
yeah.
You know, you've got to know that just because you have a check mark doesn't mean you can go full time. And you can lose it at any time too. You know, it's not a given. It's not anything that you can be like, you can absolutely count on. You know, your community is what bands together and allows you to be able to do that. And they recognize, as long as you recognize that, they recognize that, you know, just kind of letting them know that you appreciate what they do. Anyways, I can go on a tangent forever about that. So anyways, yeah. I lost my job. I had originally planned on trying to go full time in April. I ended up losing my job in December and I was like, well, we've got a little bit of money in PayPal. You know, it wasn't like crazy amounts or anything, but I was like, well, let's try it. You know, let's put out a tweet and let the community know what happened. Cause I've always really tried to be as transparent as possible with my community. Especially like with certain things, you know, cause I feel like they appreciate that. And it makes you seem more human. Because we are humans at the end of the day, you know, yeah, we are entertainers and everything, but I don't think anyone should ever be put on a pedestal for anything that they're doing. I'm just playing fucking video games, dude. That's it. You know, I mean, like, yeah, I appreciate what everyone does. I absolutely do. But I mean, at the end of the day, I tell my chat this all the time. I'm like, dude, I'm just a guy that plays video games. And so, I mean, so lost the job. Then I was like, all right, let's try to go full time. So then I was like, shit, what do I do about a schedule? And then you got to figure all that out. And so then you hope the schedule works, but then you've been doing a schedule for 2 weeks. So now people are getting used to it. And you're like, now I can't change it. So it's been crazy. It's been crazy stressful, but I've been very blessed. I really have.
Certainly. And like, I personally, I know HelloBiff. I've known him for a good amount of time on Twitch. And those that don't know, HelloBiff has an amazing community and just like builds so much positivity on the platform. But for those who don't know Biff, what would you say like people most recognized you for, even before you got partnership, before you had to go full time? What would you say most people recognized you for?
I think if anyone ever gave the channel a chance, or the chat a chance, I should say, the just how welcoming everybody is. I've really found that I really encourage my community to, if there's someone new, that we make sure that we tag them and welcome them in and say, hey, how are you? Thanks for stopping in. How's your day? Even if they're just popping a lurk, we'll tag them and say, I've got a command. It's just TTFN, Tata for now. So if people are going on lurk, we acknowledge their lurk, and we appreciate that. And that inclusivity and all of that, I think, really helps build the community and make it feel more like family for a lot of people. And I feel like a lot of people on the internet really kind of look for that. Yeah, there's the toxic and blah, blah, and that's all fun and games, but I don't know that that's sustainable for a lot of people. Even if you go into like larger streamers channels where they're known for toxicity or whatever, you're going to find these little cliques that develop, and these people have created friendships with others in these channels. And it just so happens that everyone in my channel is that one clique, but the thing is, we never alienate anyone.
Yeah.
Of course we ban trolls and stuff like that, but I always give people a chance. I'm like, okay, do you want to, like, I had some guy the other day, like, yeah, I was like, are you sure this is the channel you want to do this in? I was like, you sure? I was like, I'll give you another chance, and then they'll do it again. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Have a good one.
For now,
so I mean, yeah, exactly. But I mean, the thing is, giving everyone a chance no matter what, because I mean, you don't know what they've been through to make them that angry about something. So you gotta try your best to make sure, at least for me, like I said, that's what I really think stands out as far as my channel, is that it's not just my channel, it's the community's channel.
Yeah.
Whenever I make changes, I make sure to get let everyone know in the Discord. And if they want to say something, I'll let them. But I mean, I'll be like, yo, what? They'll be like, why did you make this change? And I'm like, well, I put it in Discord. I let you guys know if you guys wanted this. And most people said, yeah. So, like I said, inclusivity and positivity, it can easily be misconstrued as I'm happy all the time. Yeah. Excuse me. I'm happy all the time. And it's not that. It's about having a positive outlook on bad situations as well. Like I could have easily gotten really pissed off about losing my job. I could have said F this, and I could have done all this, that, and the other. But I tried to spin it into, hey, let's try to go full time, and, blah, blah. Or, my car was broken for 3 months, and it's like I had to spend $1,500 to get it fixed. Well, I could have been pissed off about, draining my PayPal to get my car fixed, or I could have been like, dude, sweet, now I've got my car fixed, and you know what, whatever, shit'll happen, and you can make more money, whatever. It's all about, just like I said, having that positive mental attitude about things and allowing yourself not to get broken down over dumb little shit, because most of the time everything is stupid and little and dumb.
You're not wrong in the slightest. So with the positivity and like the mental attitude that comes with it, and the inclusivity of your community and your chat, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people listening are, wanting to find tips and goals on how to get that coveted Twitch partner check mark.
Sure.
Would you say this is how you might have gotten the check mark? Was it the community? Was it the attitude that you had that got you there?
You know what? Here's the thing. I really think it is. And it's kind of funny because I was talking to some of my friends at Twitch Chicago last weekend. And so, like, if you guys don't know, Twitch Chicago is like a pretty big meetup in the Chicago area. And there was a lot of streamers there. And I don't try to advertise that I'm partner, because again, it's just a symbol next to your name. It doesn't make you a fucking millionaire. It doesn't give you 1,000 viewers. That's not what it is. It's all about what you do with it. And I know a lot of people that have had the numbers for quite a while and have been denied. And, you kind of wonder, well, why? Isn't it just a numbers game, blah, blah. And I really don't think it's just a numbers game. Honestly, I really think that And again, it's going to depend on who looks at your account on the Twitch side, you know, because they have so many community managers over there who are handling all the partners, and they're doing mad crazy work. But I think they really look for community interaction, and they look for, you know, what kind of community you are. Now, I'm not saying you have to be positive and you have to be like, you know, super happy or blah, blah, blah. You don't have to be fake. You can still be real. You can still be, I think you can still be toxic, you know, and still get partnered. You know, I think they want it, just a sense of, hey, this guy actually, no matter what they're doing, they're paying attention to chat, their chat's interacting with them, and they're enjoying the stream no matter what's going on, you know? So I'm not saying you have to be positive or you have to be funny all the time, or you can't fucking swear, because you can fucking swear. But, I mean, it's, you know, it's play to your strengths and try to be as community focused as possible. Because I really guarantee that with as many streamers there are nowadays, because there's God knows how many.
I think there were like 4.5 million, I think, in the last month or two.
4.5 million
people that hit live with different stream keys.
Right.
Which is incredible.
So I mean, and what sets you apart? Well, you don't know, but I mean, and I didn't know when I first started streaming either. You know, you kind of develop these things, and it's not a race. It's a marathon. You know, how long can you stay in that marathon? You know, so I really think community is one of the biggest things to get that check mark. Honestly, like having that support system and having them enjoy your content, not just bloating your numbers with bullshit tactics. They don't care about numbers, honestly. Yeah, obviously you have to be within this certain area, but I know people who have never hit 75 average viewers and still got partnered because of how amazing their community is.
It could just be like the ability to engage with your audience, whether it be a personal level or the engagement rate is like a huge thing with Twitch.
Massive.
Yeah. And taking just like a step back for a moment, just to kind of get some context for people. When and how did you first start playing video games?
Like first?
Let's go first. Let's go all the way back.
Oh my God.
First game.
Okay. This is actually a pretty good story that I don't even think my chat knows about. I remember when I was a kid. Now I'm old. If you guys are watching this, I'm an old person. No, my brother, I have an older brother. He's 6 years older than I am. And we had an original NES, and we were playing. My brother was playing Super Mario 2 because 3 hadn't come out yet. So I was probably all of like 4.5, maybe 5 years old. We're sitting on the bed and my brother's playing, and you know how like brothers will be like, oh yeah, pick up the second controller, you know, and they'll pretend like you're playing or something. I'm like, sweet, you know, blah. And then I realized, I don't know what it was, something clicked, and I knew I wasn't fucking playing because I wasn't touching the controller and shit was still moving. And I'm like, and he wouldn't give me the controller. He wouldn't give me the controller. So my little 4.5, 5-year-old ass went over to my 12-year-old brother and I punched him right in his kidney. He downed on the ground, and I just like, I picked up the controller and just started playing, like just left him on the ground. I was like, all right, yep, time for me to play now.
I don't know whether to say GG or something fits there, but that's a good story.
Well, my dad was basically GG because he was like, well, you get what you pay for, right? You know, I mean, he was asking for it. But no, so I mean, that's one of my first video game memories. You know, and then so we were NES up until late 93, and then we got a Sega Genesis because I mean they were consoles, like were still like the prices of consoles have basically stayed the same as until like PS3, because then PS3 like just went astronomical. So around $250. So it's like you're thinking, you know, my mom's like, well, I gotta buy one of these every fucking time they come out. And I'm like, ma'am, but it's new. And, you know, ma'am, I want it. So we had a Sega Genesis for a long time. So, you know, I was all about Sonic, gotta go fast. And we never got into N64 because my mom was like, you know, we're not getting another fucking console. We're gonna have this until it dies. And then I finally got into, my brother and I had gotten, birthday money for my grandma. And there was this new thing out that no one had ever heard of, and it was made by Sony. And the original PlayStation 1, it came out in 95, and I saw it at a local Walmart, and I was like, dude, look at these graphics, look at this, look at it, blah. And the hype machine was real, and I bought into it, and I talked my brother into getting a PlayStation instead of an N64. And honestly, we haven't regretted it since, because PlayStation's been killing it. But
and they had Tomb Raider. I mean, as like, small boys in 95,
and
there
then
were some quality polygons.
Dude, they were very pointy, and then they got bigger as the games went on too.
Fantastic.
But they had some classic ass titles. I mean, you had Crash Bandicoot, and I still play Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. But I mean, so that's kind of where all that started. And then, you get into PC gaming, like when PC gaming finally started like really coming into its own, I mean, obviously we did MS-DOS, so we had Doom. And I remember my grandpa's old computer, and it was like an old IBM mechanical keyboard with the telephone cord wire style. So it was springy. And I remember playing not Duke Nukem, God damn it, Wolfenstein on that.
Oh yeah.
And that's like one of my first experiences. I remember being scared as shit trying to play Doom in the dark when I was a kid. Like literally scared of that game. Like, it's crazy how like just your imagination like back then would like kind of take over, and your mind is like, oh man, what's coming around this next corner? And you can hear them. You can hear the monsters and shit. Oh man. Ridiculous. Yo, memories, fam. I'm over here, nostalgia life. Yo, can I just go play Wolfenstein right now?
There you go. Okay, interview obviously over. No, you cannot. But like, let's take all the moments that you've had playing from video games when you were younger to kind of like now, where you're creating content online, you're producing these live videos. So how can you tell like any of us about your journey from the first video to where you are now? When did you decide to create content? You've done a lot even before content creation. If you want to tell us about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, back in 2014, a little bit earlier, so I would say late 2013, early 2014, my brother Guy Manley and I, we decided to start a YouTube channel because, that was kind of like the whole Let's Play thing was just getting ready, started. Game Grumps were getting really big, and we were like, dude, we can do this. We're actually kind of funnier than these guys. But I mean, I will say Aaron has some really good quips. God damn, that guy's hilarious. But you see something and you always think you can recreate it, right? I mean, and I feel like you're like, oh, I can do that, blah, blah, blah. So, we started a YouTube channel, and it's actually still active. Some of our old videos actually all of our videos are still active. So we did that, and we invested in a camera, and we didn't even know about OBS at the time. So instead of, having something like this, what we have here now, where everything is pre-produced and a little bit easier to do live, I'm editing everything in a version of Adobe Editor. So now I'm like, okay, green screen chroma. Okay, but is this frame the same as this frame? And dude, I'm telling, like, videos took me hours to make. You kind of start getting your workflow through everything, and you kind of, it's like, even when I was like producing music, you get this workflow going, and you can bust out tracks or videos really quick. But when you first start, you're like, okay, now I got to figure out this, and what's this hotkey, or can I remap this button to somewhere else to make this work? And
it takes forever.
Anyways,
there's so much time that goes into that. Yeah,
it really is. Yeah, and I mean, I think a lot of people don't understand like YouTube versus Twitch is like a whole another animal. Like, I'm still trying to get into YouTube, and I don't even know if I have time. So we started that, and then we were like, well, Twitch is kind of like just starting off. Now we had an account before Twitch was Twitch. It was Justin TV. I lost the login. So that account's gone forever, which sucks because I would really like to have that black badge. But
That's a feels bad, man.
Yeah, that is a feels bad. It is a feels bad. Because we used to DJ live shows and stuff. And I mean, this is before everyone's like, wireless is super fast nowadays. Wi-Fi is super quick. Dude, 2013, wireless sucked. Dude, it was not meant for streaming. I mean, we're streaming at maybe 1000K, 360p, and you're still disconnecting every 4 seconds. You're buffering like crazy for people, and they're like, I can't watch this. And you're like, yo, Justin TV, fix this shit. And, but there was nothing you could do. So, I mean, we would DJ live shows and stuff like that. So I've always tried to be an entertainer of some sort, even since I was a kid. I was kind of like the class clown. And I was lazy in school too. Like, don't be lazy in school, please. I was lazy as shit in school, and I was just a class clown, and I've always really loved entertaining people. So music was always really awesome, and I've been into electronic dance music since I was 10 years old. I'm going to be 34 in July. So, I mean, a long time.
That's 24 years of boots and cats, everybody.
It's a lot of boots and a lot of cats.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Biff. So, like, with everything just being this amazing creative outlet, have you been pushing to just make it like a bigger, more profitable business, or are you kind of comfortable with where everything is now?
I mean, the thing is, people are like, oh, what's the next step and blah, blah, blah. And the thing is, like, here's what I consider. You have to take into consideration your community. And those amazing people are donating their hard-earned dollars to allow you to do what you want to do for a living. They are supporting you a hook, line, and sinker. It's crazy. Some of the what some of the community members will do for people that they really care about. And that's why I try to extend my caring as much as I can to the community, because this is all I can offer. I can offer thank yous, and I can offer quality content, and I can offer interaction. And I can, I always tell my chat that they're more than welcome if they ever have a hard day or anything. They're more than welcome to DM me on Discord or Twitter, or shoot me a Twitch whisper or whatever. I mean, I try to be as accessible as possible, and I have had plenty of people take advantage of that, and I welcome it, because it's what I can do to give back a little bit. I feel like I owe my community so much. I really do. So anyway, to get to the point, I mean, yeah, do you want to continue to grow? Absolutely. I would love to, finally break that 100 consistent viewers, blah, blah, blah. That would be great. But it's not about numbers, though. It's about the people that you have there and the quality people that you have, because I would rather have the 60, 70 people that I have in there daily that know each other than 3,000 people that are like, oh, this sucks. Oh, blah, blah, why aren't you good at get good, scrub, blah, blah. Like, for me, that's not fun. Some people would love that. I know there's people going, dude, but that would be awesome. And I'm like, that's awesome for you. We all have different perspectives. That's not awesome for me. So, I mean, yeah, I would love that growth and everything, but you can't force that stuff. I think the best thing anyone can do for growth is to stop looking at your growth. Analyze your numbers. Twitch gives you all the resources you need to be able to analyze your streams and see what worked for you and things like that, and make subtle changes here and there in order to better yourself for the community you have. So now, once you're bettering yourself, you're making it better for new people to come in and experience that goodness too. But don't live in the numbers. That's one of my biggest suggestions. Don't live in the numbers. And just be grateful for what you get, because you can't force people to give you more money. I know there's streamers out there that are like, oh, why aren't you subbing, or why aren't you donating? Blah. And I'm like, dude, wait, what? Why are you even saying this to them right now? They're donating their fucking time to you. Calm down.
Exactly.
Like, they'll never get their time back, and now they just wasted it on you. It sucks to be you, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. And
it's sad.
It's an amazing mindset that you have. And just for people who might be listening to the podcast that are, around the same area as you, what are some ways that you can find, like, different techniques and opportunities to find partners, bounties, and other opportunities to profit without coming off negatively to your audience that is donating their time and supporting you?
Right. Again, be transparent. You have to be transparent with your community. Be like, hey guys, especially if you're a full-time streamer. I'm a full-time streamer. And I explain that to my community. I'm like, hey, would you guys check out, OPSEAT, because I'm partnered with them, and if you guys make a purchase with them, I do get paid for that. And I always tell people, if there's certain links that they click or they purchase something from, I will tell them I get paid for that. Or there's other opportunities, that there's like you can purchase a chair, or I'm sponsored by a toothbrush company and things like that. Like, if you make those purchases, I get paid for that. But transparency, I think, is really big, because they don't, number one, you're not being sneaky about something. You're not like, oh, click that link and I'll get paid. You're like, no, dude, just be like, dude, if you guys would like to make a purchase, if you have any questions about it, please let me know. Again, I being transparent with your audience and treating them like they are not stupid goes a long way, because your audience isn't stupid. Your community is not stupid. They know what you're doing. Now you're just coming off like an asshole.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really big part of it. Yeah. I mean, and most people understand that we're here for the community, but some of us do need to get paid as well. And it's kind of taboo, right? It's taboo. And I hate that it's taboo, because it's my job,
Yeah, the content can't be created anymore if you can't do things like that.
Exactly. And I mean, and the nice thing is, when you're transparent about things like that, I know I say transparent like about 1 million times in the last 4 seconds. But when you're transparent like that, they understand that and they get it, and there's people out there that maybe have never talked in your chat once, and then they go do something and you're like, I don't even know who this guy is, but he just did it, and that's awesome. And then, so I mean, it's just, I think it's that easy, man. Just treating your community like they're humans. It's not hard. It's not hard. They're humans, just like you and me and everyone else that's listening right now. Like, they just want to be treated with respect and dignity, and that's an easy thing to do for somebody.
Yeah. And realistically, with the impact that the audience, gains from you and the impact you get from your audience, how does the audience impact the games that you choose, or the games that you play on the stream? Do you play a lot of games where, like, maybe the audience loves it, but sometimes you don't, or it's kind of like an even mix?
I want to say, now that I have switched to variety, it is a nice even mix. There are definitely some games that the community doesn't like as much, and I can see that reflect in the numbers. But again, that's where we talked about, making little changes here and there and sticking with those changes with a decent amount of time, so that becomes concrete. I think that really helps out a lot. Again, community integration, talking about things that you want to make changes to, or games that you might want to play, straw poll votes, stuff like that. Because, maybe somebody doesn't like the game, but they enjoy you enough that they're still going to show up.
Yeah.
And that's where interactivity comes into play too, because maybe they fucking hate the game you're playing, but they're going to be there for you because they enjoy what you do for the rest of the community, So yeah, I mean, there's definitely games that I have played in the past that I'm like, oh God, I can't fucking do this anymore. Like, why? But it's the community that I've gotten from those games, and they've transitioned over, has been awesome. It really has. So, I mean, I can just say, like, if anyone's listening to this, like, stay vigilant, and you got to stick to your guns though. You can't be wishy-washy with something like this. You got to hold your own and let people know that that you're solid on what you want to do. Because if you're not sure about what you're going to do, are they going to be sure that they even want to be there?
Exactly. That's actually a fantastic point. And just like, consistency is a huge thing, but being consistent with your audience, and
right.
You said it a lot, but I'll say it again to reiterate: transparency with your audience just goes such a long way. And then consistency with the people that you hang out with on Twitch. Like, Some of us might want to know, what the Stew team is or Court of Nerds. If you want to touch more on those, like, feel free to do so, because I'm sure a lot of us are interested.
Yeah, so I mean the Court of Nerds is a stream team that I was able to create. Basically, it's more of a community right now. I feel like I seriously, I feel like I'm letting my team down so bad. Like, luckily I was just able to get almost everyone on the Court of Nerds affiliated with OPSEAT, so they have opportunities to earn with them. I'm sure we could probably link the Court of Nerds team somewhere on the podcast as well, so you guys can check them out there. Just an amazing group of positive streamers who have excellent outlooks, and I really look for people that have the same mindset as me. Granted, like I said, everyone can have their own thing, but to be able to have the like-minded people and have that kind of support behind everyone else is really good. The Stew has been really good in that fact as well. Been very supportive of me. Boba Chat's been a really good friend ever since I met him. And I wish I could be more active in so many other stream teams and stuff, but there's only so many hours in the day. But so basically, like, Court of Nerds though originally started as, and it still is, it's an actual podcast about nerd stuff. And we actually they actually meet every Tuesday. I usually do one podcast a year, but I'm going to try to change that now. I'm actually next Tuesday, I'm going to go and do a podcast with them. So it's kind of turned into this whole big just dominion of things. So like Court of Nerds is now like trademarked and everything, and I was lucky enough to be able to carry that name over to Twitch, and I always say sorry to them because like I can't be at podcasts and stuff. So like, dude, you're spreading the word. Like, yeah, dude, you're fine. Like, I'm like, all right, cool. So I've been really, like I said, man, I've been really blessed with everything that has been going on between like the Stew and Court of Nerds, and previous stream teams that I've been on where I meet amazing people like you and made great friends. I can't speak enough to a support system, not only in your community, but inside of other people's communities too, without being shisty about it, I guess, or a leech, if you will. There's ways to support other streamers and still not just be about yourself. Because greed and jealousy are going to destroy you in whatever you do, no matter what if it's content creation or just living. Like, it's so horrible. You just become like this ball of black goo, and you don't want to do anything except for yourself. And I'm telling you, it feels great to do things for other people. Like, do one good thing for somebody today. I'm telling you.
And it's incredible. Let's not turn into like big piles of black goo. That's a bad time for everybody involved, including me, myself, and I. So, and that just shows that you have like really strong character. And these character traits you can certainly credit to success. But like, what do you think is the number one thing that you've brought to Twitch that helps you, or has helped you become this successful in the field? Was it the golden
Something
voice?
That I brought?
Was it the beard? Was it the personality that's able to bring people together as kind of like a meeting place?
It's hard to say, it really is, because I got partnered so quick on Twitch. I got partnered in just a year and 1 week. I got partnered on Twitch. I don't know if it was the game I was playing at the time or my mental change, because I mean, you can ask Mel. I know you know Mel personally, my wife, and I mean, I was just kind of a shithead. Like, I mean, I'll own that. I mean, streaming has changed me. It really has. I mean, I used to get impatient at little stupid things, and I mean, I still am working on things here and there, but I'm definitely a lot better than what I used to be. And I think streaming has definitely done that for me, that and growing up and maturing, I mean, it just kind of happens, but being watched like a content creator would be, it kind of, or at least you hope it does, it kind of changes how you react to things. and allows you to just kind of sit back and go, okay, I could do this, or maybe I should do this. And then you usually go with the better latter choice.
Yeah, because everything's under the eye. Like you're as a content creator, when you're live for this many hours, or whether you're saying certain things around the platform, whether Twitter, like you have a certain amount of followers, and those are people, and people are, they're going to be looking at everything you do. So that'll certainly make you grow up pretty quick.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
Yeah. So I mean, is there one thing that I mean, and we've already kind of touched on it, I really think the positivity and inclusivity was like one of the biggest things towards getting that partnership. I mean, I feel like I got partnered on Stardew Valley, which already has low viewership. It's it's a cult classic game, but it's got a very small following. And when you insert yourself into that community, because it really is a community, especially on Twitch, and people start enjoying you develop those relationships with those people. And then once those relationships are developed, and you, again, transparency, where you say, hey, I'm not going to be doing this as much anymore, they're okay with it. You didn't just throw it at them and go, yeah, I'm doing this now, sorry about that, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where you're like, okay, well, maybe we'll get a couple people to come over. Yeah, your numbers are going to drop a little bit, but that happens. It's going to happen to everybody. People get excited for that partner push, and then when it happens, they're like, okay, let's go on to the next person. And that happens. You can't get butthurt about it. You can't take things personally, because people don't mean it personally. And when you start taking things personally, that's when you're just going to get really upset, not only at yourself, but people that you don't need to be upset with in the first place.
Yeah. And with all of that, you can develop, a certain opinion about, streaming, or, I mean, realistically, what's your opinion on the current state of streaming as a profession? Is it like God's gift to mankind, or is it something that you want to stick around forever, or just something that you're just kind of writing out until like maybe another avenue pops up?
It's really hard to say at this point. I've been full-time since late, so we'll just say January. So almost 6 months now. I don't know. It's hard to say. I think it's amazing that I can literally crawl out of bed, take a shower, turn on my computer, and see all my friends in chat. That's in it. But then for them to donate their time and money and subs and bits and, all the gifted subs, that's even more mind blowing. I'm like, you guys, honestly, dude, like freaking chat made me cry the other day, like legit tears. I was like, dude, I can't even do this right now. Like, and you wonder if it's enough. You hope it's enough, and obviously it is for them to even want to do that in the first place.
Yeah.
But you still never feel like it's enough, but I think so many people are getting into streaming for the wrong reasons. They want to be sponsored, and they want to make this money, and they think everyone's making millions of dollars and blah, blah, blah. Dude, we're not all ninja, bro. That's not how this works. Dude, I know partnered streamers who've been partnered for 3 years, and they're still averaging 20 viewers, So, I mean, it's one of those things where it's not, regardless of a check mark or not, you're not guaranteed anything. Granted, you're not guaranteed anything in life, but especially like when you're working for yourself, because that's, you're contracting yourself out, you're working for yourself. So is it amazing? Yeah, absolutely. It's fucking insane that my community takes care of me the way they do and allows me to do what I want to do. But I don't know, I guess you cross those bridges when you come near them. You just hope you have the foresight to see the bridge in the horizon before you start running off, and then the bridge isn't completed and you just fall off like Wile E. Coyote.
Oh, true. So, I mean, with all these people that, might, whether they're getting into it for the wrong reasons or not, I mean, you got partnered in a year and a week.
Mm-hmm.
What would be some tips that you would give to somebody who's trying to, grow their content or get it out there, or even just start?
I mean, biggest thing for me, for even just starting, not even like working towards partner or anything, biggest thing for me is audio. I can deal with having to watch a stream at 480p. I can deal with having to watch garbage gameplay, but if your audio is trash, oh my God, please fix your audio.
Yep.
Like, I mean, most people, especially like we're in the lurker days of Twitch nowadays, right? I mean, chat interactivity across the board on Twitch is just down. People are lurking, people have things to do, people are busy. You know, the yesterday's gamers are today's workers, you know, and people enjoy hearing things in the background. Now, why would I want, I mean, essentially they're getting treated like podcasts now, right?
Yeah.
And you want just audio quality. If you need tips, please just contact me or Drew. We're both amazing at audio, I promise. Like, for real though, it's that's one of the biggest things. You know, and just try to improve little things over time, or take inspiration from other streamers that you really appreciate. I'm not saying steal from them, you know, or if you're gonna steal it, or if you're gonna take it, I shouldn't say steal. If you're gonna take an element from a streamer, you know, shoot him a whisper and be like, hey man, I really like what you did here. Do you mind if I take some inspiration from that and maybe put my own spin on it? Because if that streamer shows up in your channel and you're doing exactly the same thing or real damn close to it, you're going to step on toes. It takes 2 seconds to send a message. Even if they don't respond, at least you tried to contact somebody.
Yeah.
You know, then you have covered your own ass. And no one can be butthurt about it. But just like little improvements here and there. Like, I mean, I even look at clips from like my first September 2017 when I first started streaming with a full schedule. Like, I had my game screen was like, you know, this big, and my camera was this big, and I had my chat over here, and like I'm like, yeah, let's put all the things on top of everything and blah blah blah.
Awesome.
You know? Oh my God, it was awesomely horrible. You know, and I had no green screen at the time, which is no big deal. I don't have a green screen now anymore either. But I'm actually working on implementing the green screen too. I have just enough room. So I'm going to think, you know, but we'll see. We'll see. I've got like 3 cameras hooked up to my stream PC right now. And thank God I upgraded the damn thing, because my old computer couldn't handle it. But I mean, so little improvements here and there. Talk to people that you know have been on Twitch for a while. Like, if you are just now on Twitch or any streaming platform, you know, talk to people that have been watching content for a while. Ask them what they appreciate about certain streams. Ask them, you know, what they would look for. You know, those are the little things that separate, hey, I'm streaming on Twitch with my buddies on my PS4, to, hey, I've got a quality stream. You guys should definitely check this out.
Yeah.
And it's not that much. It's a blurred line, but it's all about how you interact, no matter what, regardless of who's there. 0 people, 1 people, 3 people, 100 people. It's all about how you perceive your channel and how you want it to be perceived by others. For me, I've always, like, going into when I first started streaming in 2017, I have always treated it like it was a professional job. Like, friends that I knew, that I've met through gaming, who I've actually like never met IRL. I still game with them. I won't stream with them though, because they're dirty and they know it, and they don't get offended. They don't get offended.
Yeah.
But you know, it's all about, what you want it to be, obviously, because, you know, that's just what I choose to do. Other people can choose to do other things. You can still approach things professionally and still swear and things like that. But it's, it can be crazy, man. There's so many different avenues, like, you know, and I'm not, you know, and whatever I say or whatever Drew says or whatever someone you trust says, that's not like the end all be all situation. Like, it's different for everybody. These are just my opinions, you know, take them with a grain of salt for sure. Like, cause I don't know everything, you know?
And, you know, eventually, you know, through the years that we'll be on the platform or anything like that, maybe we'll figure a little bit more out. But yeah, everybody has a different route. And sometimes these different routes that we've chosen and that we've taken haven't always been the best. So over the years, and like since 2017, if you don't mind sharing, like, what's been your biggest or most memorable failure or learning experience in your path as an online personality besides the job?
Yeah. Honestly, I've gotten denied partner twice. I think one of the biggest things that and granted, it was uh it was kind of hard. Like last summer when we were doing the partner push, I ended up neglecting the family a little bit, and I felt really bad about it. We were in the middle of a partner push, my numbers were up and everyone was really excited about it, and I didn't get to spend as much time with the family as I would have liked to. But again, like Mel has just been so goddamn understanding about everything. She's been so supportive. Like I can't even explain. Like I owe her so much for allowing me to be able to do this and not being super mad at me. I mean, I'm sure she was upset. Absolutely. Like you would be upset too if someone was doing something, but she's always understood that I've had this creative side. Like when we first started dating, I was like trying to get into music really hardcore. I had my own record label, and I was putting out, I had an GoFundMe for an album, and that was successful. And, I was opening for really big DJs. Like I opened for Paper Diamond in Minnesota, and like all these other really big DJs. And, you think that's going to be your big break, and it just never panned out. So when Twitch started turning into, hey, we've got some momentum here, like, let's see if we can keep this going, and you're on that grind, everything kind of falls to the wayside. And you kind of need to be mindful of the people that are in your life, because they are supporting you and what you're doing, but you can't take it for granted either. You need to recognize those things and understand that your support group is going to support you, but you need to try to acknowledge their support as well. You can't just take it for granted.
Yeah. And it's heartwarming to, know that you've had such like an amazing back, like during all of that.
It's crazy.
And going back to, the music and the DJing and the record label and everything. I know Twitch has a section for Twitch music, and, they're rolling out different things like Twitch Sings on the platform. Do you feel like Twitch music might be able to take off at some point, or are there still things hanging for it to really take off?
It's, it's hard to say. I feel like Twitch Sings, is definitely a really cool platform for somebody who has vocal skills to be able to flex their muscles, for sure. You've got this awesome platform, and again, comes down to audio quality. You've got this awesome platform to to allow yourself to be exposed. And now you've created a professional looking clip. You have professional sounding audio. You have yourself singing. Now you can distribute it to other areas. You might be able to find something. Like, I'm not saying you're going to be a professional singer or anything, but now you've got kind of a catalog of things you can do, and you might be able to work in a studio or something like that.
Yeah.
For me, I've done DJ streams before, and there, 2015, 2013, like 2013 to 2015 was like the years of the DJ, right? Everyone had a laptop and everyone wanted to be a fucking DJ. And like, of course I hopped on the bandwagon at the time too, because it was so easy because DJ software was out. And
that's where I got my whole start. Like my laptop, right, which I use for my audio, my MIDI controller and everything that I have, that's all from 2011 when I first heard Skrillex.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, dude, if you look at Sonny Moore, aka Skrillex, dude, I mean, he was in a fucking shitty fucking wannabe metal band.
Yeah.
And then like all of a sudden Skrillex pops out with fucking
Scary Monsters and Night Sprites. And it's like,
yeah. And it's like, okay, what the hell just happened? I don't even know. And then Bro Step was born, and now everyone wants to be a DJ. I feel like the DJ trend has kind of fallen off, and the people that are good at it are still in it because they actually like it. I mean, like I said, I've been into electronic dance music since I was, 10, 11 years old. And it will never die. I will always love DJing. Would I pursue it as a profession though? No. Because it's too cutthroat, man, especially when you're in like a local music scene. Like I know I have a really good friend who is local to my area who has, won online competitions and been invited to numerous massive festivals. I mean, we're talking, he's opened up direct support for Bass Nectar and like guys like these, and he's still struggling. He's got 4 albums under his belt, still struggling to even make a name for himself. Like, so it's all about it. That is a lot of luck and a lot of pressure on people to even try to get your name out there. So, but I mean, that's going to be the same thing with any creative. You know, I mean, creative, everyone thinks they can do it, but only certain people can be successful at it.
Yeah.
You know?
And with music having been around for, eons, and Twitch not being around for so long, do you feel like Twitch as a platform is still in the kind of in the stage where it's not just luck, or do you kind of feel like it's transitioning to a little bit of luck and that quality of content backing?
Well, I mean, the thing is, we just literally talked about 4.5 million new users in the last 2 months, something like that.
And having an average of over 15 viewers puts you in the top 1% of all streamers.
It's insane. That's insane. So, I mean, I you almost got to think it's a little bit of luck, right? I mean, how are people throwing their fishing rods into this massive ocean, literally, of people, and then they just come across you?
Yeah.
It's about presence. I think it's definitely about luck. It's about whether I don't know, man. It's insane because the internet is such a vast area, and there's so many people, and there's such anonymity behind it too, that you're really putting yourself out there. You really are. And honestly, I really think most of it's, I mean, what about you? What do you think? I mean, I think most of it's luck and, being able to hook onto those people and keep that core group. I think that's the biggest thing.
I think personally nowadays it's about having that quality content to back you and to be prepared when that luck hits you hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think that's really
true.
what it is.
That's true.
If someone throws up, $10,000 in the air and the dollar bills are slowly falling to the ground, are you going to be there with two hands out, or did you bring a bucket?
Right. Yeah.
That's the way I see Twitch as a platform.
Okay.
And, are you finding out about every time that there's going to be a $10,000 thing thrown in the air? Probably not. But for that one or two times, make sure your bucket looks nice. Make sure it sounds nice,
Yep.
Bucket being your stream, for anybody who can't get the analogy. But realistically, I know there are like so many things that are coming on, events that are coming. Are you going to be going to TwitchCon in 2019?
Sadly, no. I was lucky enough to be able to go last year. We kind of priced everything out, and just for, the sake of not knowing, being a full-time streamer, and not knowing what your financial future is looking like, we're trying to save as much as we can for any kind of, car breaking or, luckily we do live in an apartment. So if anything breaks here, they're going to fix it. But, what if my computer shits, or, now my way of making my income is broke. So now I need to fix it. So I would love to. Like I said, we did Twitch Chicago last weekend. That was really fun. It was a nice way to connect with people, and it was definitely a lot smaller and a little more intimate. So, I mean, you got to spend more time with people, without, feeling like you're rushed to do so, like TwitchCon is like this big, massive monster that everyone gets super excited about. And you get a quick hug, and then you probably aren't going to see him again unless you're staying with them in the same Airbnb.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many people at TwitchCon.
Yeah. And I mean, I would have loved to have spent more time with you there. But I mean, the thing is, you were working and you had a million people. We both just recently got partnered. So people were excited about that. And excuse me. And you just get kind of pulled all over the place. And I mean, I don't really have any social anxiety. I'm fine with crowds and everything. But even me, I was like, dude, this is almost too much. There's so many fucking people. I'm over here like, oh my God. And I'm like, shit, dude, I can't do this. So you kind of want to some of the local scenery too. And the other big thing is too, what you find is when you go to like conventions like this is, people just going, what, like, oh, here you go. Here you go.
Yep.
I'm like, dude, wait. I'm like, what? Dude, I don't even know your name. You just handed me a business card. I don't need that. Thanks. Bye. Like, that's not networking. Okay, guys, if you're listening, that's not networking. Go meet somebody, talk to them, get to know their name. Okay.
Exactly. Don't just hand out business cards.
No, it's so cringe. It's so fucking cringe, bro. Like, that's cringe. Don't do it. Don't do it. But I mean, you know, there's lots of conventions out there. You know, you've got PAX and you've got GameCon or DreamHack and like all these other places too that you can go to. And anyone listening, can you bring more to the East Coast, please? And thank you. Like, I would love not to have to fly out to fucking California or San Antonio to go do things in the gaming community.
Yeah, I think the biggest two would be DreamHack Atlanta and PAX East over in Boston, but that's still a ways from West Michigan.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we calculated, I think it was like 13 and a half hour drive to Boston, but
that's a good amount of driving.
I mean, dude, I think anything 15 hours or less, I can do in one shot, you know, especially with two people. So it's not that bad. When you start hitting the 20, 22, 23 hour market, then I'm like, okay, maybe we need to fly. Maybe we need to fly.
Yeah. So realistically, I know a lot of us here probably gained an interest in what you do, what you've talked about. Where might be some places on the internet where people might be able to find out more about what you do, or, you know, your streams or anything?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously I have a Twitter and an Instagram. I don't upload to Instagram. I'm sorry. I apologize. I try to stay up on Instagram. No, I mean, that's honestly probably one of the best things I should do is take pictures of Luna and just put them up there. I swear to God, half my chat only comes because of my dog now. Like she owns the stream. But you can always hit me up. I do own HelloBiff.tv, the URL, so you guys can go to HelloBiff.tv and that'll forward right to my Twitch. And then what else? Everything is just HelloBiff TV. Boom, easy.
Fantastic.
Super easy. But yeah, it's crazy. All of this is just insane. It's still, I don't know about you, Drew, but I'm still blown away that I'm even partnered on such a massive platform.
You did it, Biff.
No, you did it.
Well, it's an amazing journey, and we're happy to have you as an OPC partner, and to kind of grow on this journey with us. And through all this, we also have the most serious question. Besides your OPC, what's your favorite peripheral? What's one thing you feel like you couldn't create the level of content that you have without?
I already know what it is. And I'm saying TC Halcyon, don't get a hold of me. Go XLR, dude. The Go XLR is probably my number one peripheral next to my chair, man. Honestly, this thing, I can't even explain it. It's just insane. It's insane.
I mean, with, being such a, an audio buff and everything, it just makes sense. It goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Beard.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Biff, it has been a truly, truly an honor having you on the OPC video podcast. We will make sure to let you know before it airs. And we hope you have, just the fantastic best of everything.
No, dude, I mean, I honestly, again, just absolutely blessed to even be a part of the OPC team and partnered with you guys and have this opportunity to be able to kind of tell a little bit of my story. Like, thank you for allowing me to be able to do this.
Thank you. All right. Have an amazing day, Biff.